Hello everyone and welcome to day 5 of our lockdown yoga series. My name is Claudia and I'll be taking you through today's practice. So today we're going to begin in a child's pose. So come to your mat, sit back on your heels, separate your knees wide enough for your chest to fit through, and then just walk your fingertips forwards and lower your chest and your forehead down onto the floor. And from here just take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale. On your next breath in, keep your hips where they are and just move your hands to the right. Feel the stretch in the left side of the body. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale and switch sides and move your hands to the left and feel the stretch in the right side of the body. One more inhale. And then come back to center. Keep your right hand on the floor and just thread your left arm underneath your right and lower your left shoulder and your left ear down onto the floor if that's possible. And feel the stretch in your left shoulder. One more inhale. And then come back to center and switch sides. So left hand down on the mat, right arm underneath your left. Lower your right shoulder down onto the floor and your right ear. Try and keep your hips on your heels if that's possible. So we're trying to stretch the upper back here, so we're twisting from the upper body. Inhale and then come back to center. From here, come onto your hands and knees into a tabletop position. So shoulders over wrists, hips over your knees. Take an inhale and stretch your right hand forward, left leg back. And then maybe lift your right hand and your left foot off the floor. Inhale and exhale, lower. Then back down onto the mat and switch sides. So left arm forward, right leg back. Inhale, maybe lift. And exhale, release. One more time, inhale, right hand forward, left leg back. And exhale, and then switch sides. Left hand forward, right leg back, inhale. And exhale. One last time, right hand forward, left leg back, inhale. But this time, see if you can grab hold of your left foot with your right hand. And then kick that left foot into your hand. You'll feel a stretch in your left hip as well as your right shoulder. Inhale and then release. Lower your right hand down and your left foot and switch sides. Inhale, left hand forward, right leg back, lift. You can always stay here or see if you can grab hold of your right foot with your left hand this time and kick that foot into your hand. Feel the stretch in your right hip and your left shoulder. Inhale and then release and lower everything back down onto the floor. Come into a neutral position. Move your hands to the left side of the mat and step your right leg forwards so your right foot's on the outside of your hands. Roll onto the area just above your left kneecap and feel the opening in the left hip flexor as well as your right hip. Try and make sure your right knee is not going over your right toes. Take a breath here, and you don't have to stay stationary. You can sway side to side, just see where it feels good for your hips. If you want to go a little bit deeper, maybe you can lower down onto your elbows. But if that feels like too much, just come back up into the previous variation. One more breath. And then if you were down on your elbows, come back up. Bring your right leg back into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up into downward facing dog. And again, you don't have to stay stationary in down dog. Keep pedaling your feet, stretching out the back of the legs. Do whatever feels right for you today, whatever feels good for your body. Take another breath in, and on an exhale bring your knees down onto the mat again and move your hands to the right side of the mat. Step your left leg forwards. And again, try and roll onto the area just above your right kneecap. Feel the opening in your right hip as well as the left. Maybe sway side to side, see whatever feels good for you today. You can release the right toes for a slightly deeper stretch. And again, just make sure your left knee is not going over your toes. Take another breath in, and then maybe lower onto your elbows if you want a bit of a deeper stretch, or just stay up on your hands and feel the opening in the hips. One more inhale, and then if you were down on the elbows, come back up. Bring your left leg back into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up and then bend your right knee and roll your right hip on top of your left. Feel the opening here. So try and bend your knee as much as you can. Inhale, straighten the right leg. On an exhale, bend your right knee, bring your knee into your chest, round the spine, and see if you can step it through in between your hands. Do whatever you need to help your foot in between the hands. Keep the left knee off the mat. And on an inhale, come up into a crescent lunge. One more inhale, exhale, open into warrior two. Inhale, left hand down your left leg, right arm over your right ear, reverse the warrior. And on an exhale, right elbow to your right knee, left arm up into a side angle. Hold here, or maybe you can bring your left arm over your left ear. Maybe you can drop your right hand down onto the floor. Maybe gaze towards your left fingertips. One more inhale. On an exhale, spin your left arm down and place your left hand near your right. Spin your left heel up, and then toe heel your right foot to the outer edge of your mat. So this time we're in this low lunge position with the left knee lifting, and again you can see that I'm rolling back and forth, just feeling the opening in the left hip. Drop your left knee down onto the mat. Bring your right leg back into a tabletop position. Inhale, arch the spine, look forwards. Exhale, round the back and look down. Inhale, come back into a neutral position. Exhale, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up and then bend your left knee and roll your left hip on top of your right. So really open up that hip. Bend the knee as much as you need to, lift it up as much as you can. And then inhale, straighten the left leg into a three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, bring your knee into your chest, round the back. Step it through in between your hands. This is where I wish I'd tied my hair. When you're ready, inhale, come up into a crescent lunge. One deep inhale. On an exhale, open into warrior two. Inhale, right hand down your right leg, left arm over your left ear. Reverse the warrior. And exhale, left elbow to your left knee, right hand up into a side angle. And stay here or take the next variation. Bring your right arm over your right ear maybe. Maybe you can drop your left fingertips down onto the mat. Maybe gaze up towards your right fingertips. Whatever feels comfortable for you today. One more inhale. And then bring your right hand down onto the floor. Spin your right heel up and then toe heel your left foot to the left edge of your mat. Right knee is lifting, and again you can sway forward and back. Feel the opening in the hips. Drop your right knee down onto the floor. Bring your left leg back into a tabletop position. One last time, inhale, arch the spine, look forwards. Inhale, exhale, round the back and look down. Inhale, come into a neutral. And then on an exhale, bring your big toes to touch and sit back in a child's pose. We're going to take a few deep breaths in this child's pose to finish off. So try and keep your mind present. Try and keep your inhalations and exhalations the same length if you can. And if you wanted to, if you've got time, you can lie down on the mat into a quick Shavasana. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the practice and have a beautiful rest of your day. And